are. I told you we would be back here very shortly, and here we are on Orbital Shipyard, representing Storm Gaming. He is the blue Zerg player that you just saw take Gamja out. Give it up for WarreN.
And his opponent spawning on the other side of the map at the bottom left-hand corner with a red Protoss player representing Storm Gaming as well. Give it up for PiLiPiLi.
All right, so Dragon.
so PiLiPiLi PvZ tempo.
Oh my god.
Do you know a thing or two about that?
Well, I don't know, man. I mean, it might make a few probes.
I mean, did we cast 50-ish games, 49 games yesterday?
Yeah,
it was 49 games.
Me and
we cast 49 PvZs of PiLiPiLi yesterday.
Yep. Yeah.
So, I feel comfortable saying that we've seen a fairly large variety of what he likes to do and what he's capable of. And one tendency I would definitely say we saw a lot of were the 1-gate and 2-gate openings that were just going for the very fast adept pressure. He is a huge fan of the adept pressure.
A big fan of the adept pressure indeed. And you know what? The cool part is that PiLiPiLi, even though we casted so many PvZs of him, he's going to be playing against a different Zerg player who's playing it much different than Jon Snow. I think you mentioned it, well, I know you mentioned it, that Jon Snow plays ZVP in such a different kind of way, where he's so aggressive. You know, he's not quite like the other Zerg players that like to just go ahead and get a bunch of drones, as many as they can get away with. Like, he'll kind of take the game into his control. I wonder if WarreN is like same kind.
Yeah, you know, it could really go in a lot of interesting ways. We do already have a much faster third expansion than Jon's. I think this is a faster third than Jon Snow ever took in all 49 games.
Every single one. Like, Jon Snow would always be like super safe, so WarreN taking a 3 hats before pool shows that he does want to get into that very, very either economically aggressive kind of stance or like just making a bunch of larvae so that he can flood with lings or something else. Many different options you can do here if you get away with it, though.
But here comes that double gateway adept opening that I was talking about that PiLiPiLi loves so much, even chronoboosting out those first 2 adepts. Now, WarreN does scout this out and is going to be making that initial set of 6 Zerglings alongside a couple of those queens, since he does have those 3 hatcheries. And we'll see if that's going to be enough. The big problem with trying to deal with those adepts is that they will just ignore... I mean, they might kill off some of your Zerglings, but they'll just ignore the queens and just gun it for drones a lot of the time.
Yo, indeed. I love when they do that, too, because, like... I mean, obviously not when it's happening to me, but...
Yeah, I was about to say it.
But I mean, like, because you see some people use adept, and they kind of mess up with them, right? Like, we saw it a lot
they'll like
yesterday.
try and fight the roaches or something like that, or the queens, and they just end up wasting time while more and more units get out.
Yeah. So here come the first 2 adepts. Sometimes they don't actually even finish the shade, and he is going to go for it. And he's going to go for the drones. It looks like PiLiPiLi trying to get a few drone kills, but the only thing that I see is that he won't be able to get the scout into the main. And does he really care about that, or is he just trying to get away?
Ooh, barely gets out of there with one of those adepts sitting at a very low 6 health. It's only 1 or 2 shots away. I think 2 shots away from those Zerglings actually finishing him off. But, you know, having them escape is actually a really good thing, because those are going to be added into the army and could very well add into an additional bit of pressure they can put on later on. But no, we're seeing a fairly fast third expansion coming out from PiLiPiLi.
Yeah, PiLiPiLi gonna just take that 3rd expansion, and Orbital Shipyard is a really good map for that. It's very hard for the Zerg player to pressure you here, so I think this is a really nice move. But WarreN is also playing it super safe too, getting these Spore Crawlers. I don't think he's gotten to the main with any Overlords yet, but whoa, that Overlord, clutch,
the accidental
King
clutch.
Yep, and to see a double Stargate, beautiful.
Yeah. I say accidental scout, but really that is smart positioning. You position that Overlord over there, but it's not just that. When you're a Zerg player, and this is just a tip for any Zerg players out there that are trying to get better at scouting, and they say, oh man, you know, I send in my Overlords but I don't find anything. Well, if you keep an eye out on where the pylons are for a Protoss player, their tech is going to have to be next to a pylon somewhere. So knowing where those pylons are, leaving the Overlords nearby them, likely to get a good scout off on that tech.
Yeah, and that's been since the beginning of time, too, so definitely keep that in mind if you're playing Zerg and you get an initial scout with a drone or a ling, and then just make sure that you look to see where those pylons are. But It's a little bit different in Legacy of the Void because like pylons are you don't even know what they're placed for anymore now with the photon overcharge. So it's like, is it for tech or is it for defense? You know, you want to kind of differentiate between the two.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, that initial 2 Phoenixes are coming out from PiLiPiLi, so they're going to be taking out that Overlord, giving WarreN any kind of notification that he didn't already have, at least about the choice of the Stargate unit. But here come in the Adepts, and there is not a lot here for WarreN. WarreN is completely caught off guard.
Oh
my
no.
god, he is now starting units.
He's just now starting. What does he even have? I don't think he has anything. You're right. He has 2 Zerglings and 5 Queens, which is actually pretty nice, but these Adepts are going to put in a lot of work, but they're wasting a lot of time. What are they actually... There they go. Oh, see? Like attacking an Evo Chamber.
Yeah, they need to be going after the drones right now. I think he was busy microing his Phoenix around, trying to get other stuff done, but the Roaches, when they pop out, they're going to have a much easier time dealing with these Adepts.
There we go. These are the kills that he's looking for. He's going to go ahead. So many drones are getting killed here, Fear Dragon. 16 drones have already fallen, but here come the Roaches finally. But the damage has been done. 55, and now the Protoss is on a 3rd base.
Yeah, cancels that Adept Shade and keeps these Adepts.
They're not even dead yet. Oh.
Yeah, he's still killing some drones. He gets 1 more drone kill, sending those Adepts over to that natural expansion once again and going to be able to kill a couple more drones on the retreat. I mean, these Adepts have been so unbelievably effective, and even the Phoenix are over here now to try and add in a little bit of DPS, maybe kill off some Overlords, find some extra free damage wherever they can.
23 drones have been killed. WarreN is down to 55 again, even after making a few more. So it's like, you thought that was it. Here comes the insult to injury. You said it. Phoenix is picking up a few of the Hydras because they are in the small numbers, and this is looking brutal. PiLiPiLi getting a really nice lead right now.
Yeah, and on top of that, he's also forced out 6 Spore Crawlers to try and deal with this. Gonna be able to
might as well be a drone kill.
Yeah, I mean, even going to be able to kill off a couple more of these Hydralisks. This is really effective damage over here. This Hydralisk count is just really not building up, and the Spore Crawler unburrows to try and get underneath the Phoenix, but actually it just ends up giving the Phoenix an opportunity to kill off these Queens.
2 Queens are going to go down. PiLiPiLi setting up to go into charge as well as +1. Oh, he's getting +1/+1 completed, so done with the Phoenixes. He feels like he's done enough damage, and there's no way that WarreN is going to have the economy to deal with the sheer amount of units that PiLiPiLi is going to be pumping out. And the problem is a lot of the units are going to be Hydras. You know, Hydras don't really do too well against charge lots when you don't have good upgrades.
And not only that, but I mean, these Hydras should have been drones to try and replenish this this worker loss count that from that Adept attack earlier on. But the problem is he can't really afford to do that because these Phoenixes are floating around such a high number that he has to make some sort of response to them. So now he's stuck sitting on 51 workers, saying, well, that was obnoxious. I think obnoxious is a bit of an understatement.
Definitely an understatement, you know, and yeah, with PiLiPiLi, he knows exactly what's going on. WarreN is trying to at least go ahead and somehow figure out a way back into the game. Lurkers are a good way, but I mean, I don't think PiLiPiLi is going to allow him to. Gonna lose almost all the Phoenixes.
2 Phoenix, 3 Phoenix.
Yep.
Big losses over there.
Pretty big losses here. PiLiPiLi, though. This is the push that he's been waiting for. He got down the Templar Archives, which means that he will be able to make the Archons, and with Phoenixes also to support, he has a lot of energy on it. The time to strike, he has a lot of time on his hands, but I think he's looking to do it now. The 4th base being taken by WarreN definitely shows that he would like to go into the late game, but it's like, PiLiPiLi did not let that happen.
Yeah, man, with these Archons and charge slots just expanding so close to this 4th expansion of WarreN, this expansion is not going to be long for this world. WarreN is trying to get up whatever he can, get up as many Hydras, get up the Lurker Den that has oftentimes been the saving grace for a lot of Zerg players, but Tempo, you and I both know that PiLiPiLi is very prepared for those fights versus the Lurkers. He is actually quite exceptional at dealing with those Lurkers right now.
He is, man, and we've seen him slip up a few times by like forgetting detection, but you never know if he was just tired. Oh my god, no, the WarreN is going to move out onto the map. Creep is your friend, yes. And I think he realizes just how minuscule the army is, or at least the efforts are, to try to get some damage.
At this point, he's at 192 of 200 supply. He is so close to maxed out. There is no reason not to go for it, especially with how large his army is.
If PiLiPiLi could put his knees in front of his glasses and he could just hit a move and go and would be perfectly fine. This is not enough time. PiLiPiLi gonna take out all of the lurkers as they do get morphed in, wasting all of the resources there for WarreN. It's almost as if he let that happen, because now this base is gonna go down. There's just simply not enough resources there for WarreN to even make the amount of units that he needs, and PiLiPiLi will take game number 1. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to this map. Oh boy, it is going to be Central Protocol, and the first player that we're going to be introducing is spawning here in the top left corner, representing Storm Gaming. It is PiLiPiLi.
And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom right-hand corner of the map with a very fast gas geyser and pool. Give it up for Storm Gaming's Red Zerg player, WarreN.
Okay.
4-player map in Central Protocol. We were saying this is a map for shenaniganry, but I think this is actually the worst possible spawn for this kind of build, because not only is that Overlord that he sends out first not going to scout out PiLiPiLi first, the drone is also not going to scout out PiLiPiLi, and the fact that he has to sacrifice that early economy with such an already low econ build is going to be rough.
Yeah, I agree. And like a big thing too is that PiLiPiLi, he tends to not open greedy on this map. Like we saw him on it earlier too, and he didn't play greedy. Double gateway opener, and he even gets the cybernetics core before expanding, so super duper safe. He knows exactly that people would like to take advantage of the map, and WarreN is no different. Straight up, you know, this is like something that life would do on Iron Fortress to you.
Yeah, he even sends out that probe scout and sees the Zerglings making their way across the map before he ends up losing it, and immediately it's just like, okay, well, let me chrono boost my Zealot out before my cybernetics core finishes up, and that Zealot is going to be there in more than enough time. In fact, I think that he may have been cutting it a little bit close, but if he just used like a pylon to finish that wall in for a little bit of time, he may have been able to get his Adepts out in time for this push.
Oh yeah, I mean, 2 Adepts at a time. The Lings didn't even get the chance to get any kind of earlier aggression to discombobulate PiLiPiLi by attacking pylons and forcing them around, and, you know, maybe not having a Zealot or an Adept in the hole fully.
Yeah. Oh, well,
are gonna come
oh my god, I think he was going for this crazy bait where he moves the Zealot out a little bit faster and then waits for the Zerglings to try and commit to do the big run by. But the Adepts are actually popping out immediately behind him. Well, WarreN has an opportunity to maybe try and do a little run by right now.
He could do a run by, yeah, and I think he's gonna take the chance. And here he goes.
There's the
denied. Denied.
Absolutely, was cutting it so close over there. I'm a little worried for PiLiPiLi. But
it looked really scary for a second. Like that would have been like that kind of moment of brilliance where you see him defend it, and then it's like that tiny moment of just I don't even know. Yeah, but this is the map Central Protocol, and I don't think WarreN is done yet. PiLiPiLi's well aware of that.
Yeah, there were some more Zerglings made in. PiLiPiLi is like, let me assist you with these rocks. We target Mothership Core on the correct targets, killing off some of those Zerglings, or at least forcing them back. And in the meanwhile, we got a gold expansion being taken over here from WarreN.
That we do. So it is going to be the way that he decides to at least compensate for the kind of lack of economy that he had since he opened up so aggressively. And PiLiPiLi, like, I liked how he put down the Nexus as soon as he realized, like, okay, this is easy, like, we got this already. You know? Like, that's confidence. He's not going to sit back in his base and let WarreN get ahead by capitalizing on his fear.
Exactly, and of course, the other important thing that he's going to need to do is get some sort of information about the fact that that gold expansion has been taken, because we do see PiLiPiLi sending in some of those Adepts in the natural expansion, immediately killing off a couple of these units, but he doesn't have any information about that gold expansion just yet.
No, he doesn't. And he needs to check around, you know, he needs to go, oh, he's actually going to go ahead and get some of the drones, but PiLiPiLi's setting up, even if he doesn't know about the gold, the way that he's setting up is just like a kill move once again. It is going to be a very similar build, but it is going to have the resonating glaives, and he's also going for the warp prism, so really, really fast warp ins and just pretty much mass adept, at least for the beginning stages of this game. And I do worry for WarreN if he doesn't start producing units. Like, he has the gold base. He doesn't need to produce too many drones, so he needs to know that and not get too greedy. Because he can just die if he starts to produce too many.
I'm afraid that he's going to still feel like he's playing from behind. And I mean, he is playing from behind from that earlier opening with the super early pool. But as you were saying, if you try to play a bit too greedy to play catch up, it can also bite you in the butt against any sort of experienced Protoss player. War Prism making its way out, but WarreN does catch a glimpse of it, and that's going to be a really, really important victory for WarreN.
It really is, right? And he knows that he can follow it with the Lings, and he might not know that it is resonating glaives yet, but he might know now if he was really paying attention.
I was like, wait, it's like, okay, you made 4 adepts and you're trying to drop with them? Well, I'm willing to bet that you
Oh my god, there's nothing here yet. There's not even a spine crawler or a queen.
Well, this is a bit of a lucky find over here for PiLiPiLi, to be entirely honest. Maybe he could determine that this was the case, that this gold expansion was taken based on the fact that there was no other 3rd expansion. But still, PiLiPiLi, is he going to just go for this hatchery? Or is he going to go and continue to put the aggression on?
Yeah, I was hoping that he wasn't going to and that he would go for the aggression onto the drone line, but he's going to go into the main here with the War Prism, and now we can start to pull WarreN apart. Going for the 3rd may not be the worst idea now because of the fact that he's warping in the main now.
Yeah, but Dark Shrine is now finished up, and with a Spine Crawler going up, but no Overseers. There is a Spore Crawler already in the mineral line, and the Adepts are going to go ahead and scout those. That's
the line he wanted. This is the mineral line he's been looking for. These roaches, they don't have road speed yet, and they're just trying to keep up with the Adepts, and that's not really going to happen. Adepts took out a hatchery. Like,
yeah, I mean, those resonating glaives, man, they will eventually take out the hatchery. But honestly, that's all the damage I feel like PiLiPiLi really needs to do. But whoa, 3 DTs warped in. I know this kind of strategy. He's just going to right-click on that Spore Crawler saying, oh, you thought you had detection? Well, you thought wrong.
Yep, and he's going to take it on out. WarreN, he does not have an he does have an Overseer, though. But whoa, where the hell are you doing? He's trying to scout PiLiPiLi. And that's the only Overseer that he has, and he's just now making a 2nd one, but the DTs, they're doing the damage. Poison is smiling, inner seat grinning very, very heavily now.
Those DTs didn't accomplish a whole lot, and I would have loved it if they were been timed up with these Adepts moving in. But the Adepts coming in a little bit separately, but oh my god, these Adepts gonna absolutely massacre so many of these drones.
Yep.
26 drones left over, 25 at the end of it. And the Adepts
34 in total been killed. Yeah.
Come back to that ability. PiLiPiLi taking a 2-0 victory.